everybody, welcome to the channel for new battle report. So this time facing Empire of Sonnstahl, beautiful army painted by one of my clubmates. Yeah, this was his list. So basically he's playing a prelate with relevant for me a ward save against fire. He has another ward save against fire on the Marshal and the Great Griffin. So two mobile character with a 3-up against fire that are very annoying for both my Academy Titan and the Disciples of Lugar, which is the main part of my striking force. Then he has a Marshal BSB with Death Warrant. He has a Master Cosmology, 40 Halberd guy, 16 crossbow, 10 crossbow, 5 cavalry, so mobile scoring unit, 10 militia, which can be a good piece of chaff, 29 Imperial Guards with great weapon, Arcane Engine, which had the Arcane Shield, 5 Raiders, the cannon and a steam tank, which is another cannon. So basically has 2 pieces of chaff, the 2 buff wagon, a couple of 2 big infantry block, and then the rest basically shooting, magic and so on, and 2 mobile characters as well that can provide some good answers to, for example, character, or with the stubborn prelate you can block some things. So quite interesting list, but I think one of the weakness could be, I think he's limited to leadership 8 with the prelate as a general, which can be an issue for some steadfast or stubborn check. We played breakthrough and marching column, and we had like a funny custom rule on this scenario, which was basically you had to sing something each time you were doing a march check, and if you forgot, your opponent can like tell it to you, and he was winning a point. Basically you had something, the mechanic was quite interesting because you had to keep in mind some additional rule during the whole battle to avoid your opponent getting some extra point, which was limited to a +3. So the score could go above 20 points, which was quite funny. And it was for everybody. And you see his spell selection has plenty of buffs for combat, obviously. Matchup analysis, so he has 2 mobile fire ward character, which can be annoying. I need to give him choices to make, and basically try to force him to make mistakes in his choices. 2 cannon that are going to force my Overlord on Bull to hide. So I need to... Basically what I want to do in this matchup is start, push, be aggressive. Also we're playing breakthrough, so I know that if it's the type of secondary, if you know that you're going to push, you're basically getting an advantage on the secondary objective and get in good position to try to win it. By blocking him in his starting line and try to get through his deployment zone. And basically an Unerring Strike is a key spell in this matchup. I cannot allow that all game long. I need to dispel it basically with like 4 dice. So that's something also to consider regarding Magic Phase. Estimation of the matchup, I thought it's a bit negative for me. Between the Firewall character, the 2 cannon, the big blocks and the buff wagon are not so easy. Yeah, he has good tools, an Unerring Strike, all the crossbow shot and so on can be very annoying, so it's not easy. I think secondary objective wise, since I'm going to push him, I should have an advantage, but overall on the matchup I didn't feel so good. Deployment, marching column, we both started from the right. He elected to start, so I win the roll for side, I gave him the impassable. He elected to start from the right, put a fast cav here, Raiders, then the normal cav, and then the crossbowman, and I put from right to left vassal, slave, and another slave unit. And after that he thought about it for a while and told me, let's continue to drop one after one, we will see what you do. So he put the steam tank here. After what I decided to drop for first turn. I felt I've seen enough. I'm seeing that it's going to go towards the left, so I know what I can anticipate. And I was happy to start this game since I'm going to push. So I put Naphtha Titan, Rocket Titan, Vassal on the left, Bastion in the middle, Lugars facing the steam tank basically. And then I decided to put my Overlord on the right and saw that with a 14-inch move I can be behind the hill, which is perfect to avoid cannon shot first turn. And I felt between him and the Lugars I could deal with the steam tank, and then the rest of the unit should be okay for me to deal with after that, since I have some big blocks. And then regarding the left, the 2 Titan plus the Bastion should be enough to threaten his backline, so we'll see how that goes. I have to push through, there is a ring, there is a wall, so there is a couple of stuff that he could use to his advantage. His counter deployment, he decided to go with the militia, cannon, infantry, halberd, great weapon guy, then he has the 2 buff wagon, he has crossbow, the griffin guy, steam tank, crossbow, cavalry and raiders. My turn 1, I push forward as fast as I could, basically getting on the field for soft cover, pushing the bastion, pushing the titan, pushing those guys, everything push forward. Here I get a couple of shots on those guys, so I didn't march, and that was it. In the magic phase, I got hereditary off on the guard. He dispelled something like toxic breath, I guess, and then I was able to get a small flying move, which was really nice to be able to push a bit more my titan here on the left, which allowed me to shoot with rocket battery onto his cannon. So I felt that's a great opportunity. I mean, 4 shots on a 5-up, 2-up, multiple wounds E3. If I get lucky and I kill it, that would be amazing. Unfortunately, I won't hit with any of the 4 rolls, so I'm not getting any wounds on the cannon, but still getting in a good position, as you will see. Hasten 1, he activates his piece of chaff in front of my titan. The rest remains where it was, more or less. Didn't move much, stayed with the steam tank here. Didn't move to get a clean shot onto the titan. Move with his griffon on the far right and move those guys back. Here, as you can see, I was really lucky with the bow shots. I was able to kill 2 of the cavalry. Fortunately for him, he passes at least the panic check. In the magic phase, he got +1 to hit on the cannon. Going to shoot at my naphtha thrower, identifies it at the prime target, so he shoots the 2 cannon. This one I'm going to get a ward save, and on the second one is going to get through my ward save and do 2 wounds to my titan. So could have been worse, definitely. He's going to get a 3rd wound with the crossbow shooting as well on the titan, so already a titan which is pretty much half dead, and the militia do also 1 wound to my rocket battery titan. So not too bad for Empire, turn 1. My turn 2, so I see a couple of things here. The first one is this Scaling Titan can charge those guys, which is a check on the 8. If they fail, they're going to flee off the board, and I can redirect then on a 7 onto the cannon, which I managed to do. So it was a bit fortunate for me because the redirect check is on a 7, no reroll. So I was a bit fortunate to pass that and to be able to charge the cannon, so this is huge, obviously. Other than that, I decided to create something interesting. So basically you have this guy, the flyer with the 3-up ward save, that I want to move away from the action on the left because it could be annoying for my Lugar. So I was able to push the Lugar in a way that he cannot see me. The steam tank cannot charge me due to those guys, and also it's too far, it's outside 12. Then basically I was looking that way with the overlord to cover some angles. I don't want the Griffin to land here in front, and also those guys to move here forward, so I would see them no matter what. But then if he moves on the Griffin to this side, it's not too annoying for me. I was pretty okay with that. That would be the obvious choice for him, but then this Griffin guy is far away from my flaming units, so that would be great for me. And I have a plan in mind, you will see after. Here in combat, and the rest just push a bit forward, basically covering themselves. So if he charge, I'm outside of those guys here, so if he charge me with the prelate, I can counter charge here or with here. I have plenty of options. In the magic phase, I get a breast weapon, kill 3 of the Imperial Guard, and kill another one with bows, which is nice. And then I'm going to one-shot the cannon in close combat, obviously, and reform. Here I had 2 options. The first one would be to minimize the contact, but then it would allow him to march 10 out of my line of sight, which in hindsight is not too bad because then I would be in his backline shooting at stuff with rocket battery, so I'm not sure he likes that. But I decided to look a bit more forward to basically avoid him going out of my line of sight no matter what, but then he gets less minimized contact, which is, as you will see, not perfect. He's turn 2, so he decided to charge me, has 4 guys in base contact. Other than that, didn't move much on the left. On the right, moved the steam tank to threaten me, and he did what I expected him to do, which is flying the Griffin here on the right, leaving me with a charge on 8. And he didn't really see coming that I could take the charge to just basically pin him down. Those guys move behind the hill, and those guys move away, basically ready to chaff later on. In the magic phase, unfortunately for me, I had to dispel an Earring Strike because the Titan would be dead, and I need him for later on. So he got +1 strength here, then he got the small one on 2 dice, which is a 4-up. I had 1 dice to dispel, and I didn't manage to do it. So meaning he has 2 times +1 strength, which is strength 6, so it's 12 attack on a 4+ rollable, and then on a 4+, and I have a ward save 5-up. So it's not that bad, but could have been better for me. I didn't expect strength 6 facing me. He was too far to get the reroll to wound, obviously. yeah, that's it. I think shooting, he didn't hit my Bastion. He couldn't see my Kadim Titan, so that was nice for me. He failed to hit my Bastion, which was nice on the 4-up. And then close combat, he managed to do 3 wounds to me. I did 8 wounds to him, so I didn't fluff on the Stomp, which was important because he had the charge 3 rank banner. And as you can see, that's his wound on Hatred, so 3 wounds is pretty average actually. It's what you should expect from him. And I managed to do 8 wounds, so yeah, that's... When I was thinking about the combat, I was thinking like that strength 4 Halberdiers. It's not too bad, I can stomp and so on, it's a good combat for me. But under distracting, reroll to hit, yeah, it's annoying, it's really annoying. So he got 3 wounds on me, I'm still alive, I did a good job. So now Hatred is not here anymore, which changed a lot as well, so we'll see how that goes. My turn 3, I charge obviously with the Vassal on the flying guy, and I get that, which was really key. So charge on 8, I place my Overlord behind him, meaning he cannot shoot me, which is nice. And also I can just counter charge next round onto him, which is my plan. Give the champion, pass the Steadfast, reform, suffer a couple of more wounds, pass the Steadfast. I have leadership 10 thanks to the Overlord, and then I can just charge and clean him. So that should be nice. Push the slaves, push as well the Vassal to be in front of him. We can debate if whether or not I should have pushed those slaves or not. We can discuss that. I wanted to have leadership as well. So basically I'm telling him, no matter what you do, I could charge you next round depending on your role. It could be interesting. And now for me was the time to push. I reduced enough to my taste those Imperial Guards. So I push the Bastion, push the Kadim Titan to get 2 clean shots here, and I have reroll to wound Naphtha thrower shots, which could be enough to clean those guys. So I felt it's time to push here. Those guys didn't move at all to get some good shot on a 5-up onto this unit as well, which should help me a little bit. And as you can see here on the left, I have 3 wounds remaining, which is a bit tense, but at the same time, he has not Hatred anymore, so that could be okay for me. Yeah, let's move on to magic. I got Gravecall onto the guards, kill only 3 of them on strength 6, so it was a bit disappointing. But then with shooting, I'm going to kill a total of 11. I think between the bows and the bastion, I killed 9, and then only 2 with the Naphtha, which was a bit disappointing, but still a good result overall. And then close combat, I'm going to fluff completely here on the left. I manage between 6 attack on a 4-up, 2-up, 1 attack on a 5-up, I guess, armor save he has. And then D6 stomp, I'm going to do only 1 wound. He did 0 to me, but I lost by 3 because he has 3 rank and a banner. And fail my check, and basically due to unstable, my Kadim Titan just popped. So that was very frustrating for me. This combat, I'm going to pass the steadfast check, and basically that's it. He's turn 3, he is stuck, so I'm going to kill him next round. He charged with the steam tank onto my slave, which could have been easily avoided, but he chaffed me, so no big regret, just some free points that I give away. Not perfect. He decided to double charge me, so he got the charge on a 7 with those Imperial Guard, which was quite important because yeah, it's a dicey one. If he fails it, I can move forward, shoot him again, and then he's in big trouble. He charged with the prelate to block the bastion, which makes sense. And those guys attempted a long charge on 9 onto the bastion. I stand and shoot, kill some. I think would have been a mistake for him to get that charge. Basically, I have so much combat res. The prelate doesn't do much. Those halberd guys don't do much as well. So I think it's a huge danger for him to just bounce with those guys. So I don't think it was the right decision to charge. Fortunately, he failed that charge. And basically that's it in the magic phase. So as you can see, a lot of action until now. Magic phase, he got the 5-up ward save in the aura. Yeah, then with those 10 shots, he managed to kill 3, which is enough panic check. I'm too far away from leadership, so those guys flee. And in close combat, the Overlord just kill him outright, overrun this direction. Here I think a ward save or something on the crush attack, and he passes the steadfast on 8 rollable. And here, since he was distracting, had a ward save, I decided to just attack straight put all my attack onto the master, which was here, master cosmology. I felt most likely I'm going to die. It's a dicey combat, but most likely I'm going to die. So let's strike at the master, try to just kill it and get those points, which is 400 points. So it's almost the price of the Kadim Titan. So I just tried that. Kill it, stomp a bit the unit, so he had only like 5 models left. And then he strike, and he did 4 wounds, which is very dicey. It's 28% chance of killing the Titan, which is, yeah, enough, basically. Not much, but enough. And he just killed my Kadim Titan. Obviously, it's very dicey because the round after, I would be striking first. So, yeah, if he doesn't kill me, then I kill him next round, basically. We can debate whether or not it was the right choice to strike at the mage. Knowing that the stats were not that good, I felt the stats were better for him to one-shot me. Because I could have also tried to say I strike everything on the unit, but I was only hitting on a 5-up, which I was a bit afraid of doing nothing. He kills me, and then I really did nothing. Here I felt at least I killed the master. We can debate about that, because obviously if I kill some, it reduces the 28% chance of killing me. So I don't know, to be honest. I don't know. Good question, if it was the right choice or not. Yeah, he kills me, reform, looking at those guys. He is stuck, and he killed the slave. My turn 4, I charge the chaff. At this time I charge here. The last one I stick on the steadfast. This time I charge him. Here we stuck. Here I don't move. I shoot him short range onto the remaining guys. The magic phase, I got the ward save on them. I was fearing he would charge me on the flank, but I think due to the position of the BSB and the static res, I don't think he would do that. Doesn't bring much since he's already stubborn, so he wouldn't do that. So I felt I could have tried Gravecall or something else instead. Not the best decision. And then shooting, I killed 2 of those guys. What else? Yeah, just thinking. Yeah, I killed 2 of those guys. And then here I kill him, overrun this time. Here I kill those guys, which provokes panic check of those guys on 7. They fail, they flee, but stay on the board. And I reform my Lugars. And here it passes another 8 rollable. He's turn 4, move those guys forward to avoid me getting stand and shoot and so on. So just make a normal no march to avoid DTs. Position the chariot to buff. He rally those guys on 7. Move away with the sim tank. Doesn't want any charge of the Lugars. Those guys just reposition. Magic phase. He failed the march check on those guys, which is key to go towards my deployment zone, obviously. Magic phase, nothing too crazy because he has not anymore any spell. And then I just crush attack, do 2 wounds to him, but he passes another 8. I think this time is maybe not rollable because the BSB moved too far, but he still passes those check. My turn 5. Here I move back, uses the mage to chaff those guys. Uses my overlord to chaff him. I put 2 scoring units within his deployment zone. Those guys basically are here still engaged in the magic phase. I get Gravecall, 4 wounds on the chariot, which gives me half point. Shooting. I kill another 2 or 3 with the shots here. And I got also Toxic Breath in close combat. Managed to do nothing onto the prelate. Too bad. And he passes another check on 8. And his final turn, move on the hill, will not hit me on 4-up, 2-up, fortunately. Passes another stubborn check, kills my mage, and that's it. Ended up being a 15-5, and due to the bonus point, 18-6. But yeah, 15-5 is the official score, or the unofficial score, due to the normal rules. So it was a tense game, close game, and I still ended up winning it due to mainly the secondary of Breakthrough. Post-game analysis, so I played on the wall table to force him to make choices. I think it paid off when we saw the Griffin going right. I think that was exactly what I wanted, and I was able to trap him, getting in combat, and then counter-charge. Obviously, I had some luck, making on charge on 8, making on the left the early charges, and so on. So I wasn't so unlucky, but I think it was well balanced to him making the charge with the Imperial Guard onto my Kalim Titan, and then killing him outright, me fluffing against the Halberd second round, and so on. So I think it was like back and forth, the dices. I underestimated how well EOS infantry could do under buff wagon and magic buff. Yeah, I mean, distracting, reroll to hit, +2 strengths, it just became crazy. Yes, so I was punished for that. Should have minimized the contact and 2. Turn 3 EOS. It was a very dicey combat between the Guards and Titan. If anybody has the opinion that I should have strike the Guard on a 5-up, 2-up instead of killing the Mage, yeah, maybe that was the right choice. It's always easy to say after the game. I didn't know at the time. I don't afterwards. I'm not sure it's so huge. Meaning, yeah, could have mean the Titan would have been alive and allow me to charge other stuff. So I don't know. Then it didn't end up changing so much stuff in the game, to be honest. Point wise, surely, but other than that, not that impactful, I feel. Yeah, obviously, if I have Titan alive, I can countercharge a prelate and then maybe get more points. So that's that. Prelate kept saving some crush stack. I remember 2 ward save. It passes a good amount of 8 rollable and I think 2 8 non-rollable break check, which is also huge because if at some point my Bastion gets free, I mean it can go crazy. Griffon, I think, should have kept trying the Lugas. He felt in my trap to go in this sweet spot, which was the wrong idea. I think the battle was not played there, and he could have left those vassals to go elsewhere. And the final cannon shot was a stressful moment for me, obviously, because if he gets lucky, one-shot the Overlord, panic check on a 7 on the vassals, good chunk of points here. That's all, guys, for this battle report. So I hope you liked the battle. Plenty of action, was quite interesting. I'm on 2 wins, 2 big wins after this second round. So I'm going to play the final game against Saurian Ancient, which is also going to be another exciting battle with a lot of combats. So looking forward to show you this battle report. Talk to you soon on the channel. Take care. Bye-bye.